Welcome to Toffee TV, it's the debate.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Slower and longer drawn out. That's the way they like it apparently. Yeah.
Okay.
Every week we choose a topic that doesn't really matter.
No.
But we're just
Everton based topic.
Obviously, because if it was anything we could, well, yeah. This week we've decided that we're going to try and get into an era, best player of an era. So we're going to start with Howard Kendall Mark 1, because we can't go back any further because I wasn't born.
You just can't remember. And I was only dinky, and it was shit, and we want to get away from the current shite.
Yeah. So, and we don't know what we're going to say. Honestly, we haven't told each other. So,
if we both say the same, we'll have to choose a reserve. Have one in reserve.
Okay.
Go on then.
So the best player of the Howard Kendall era, Mark 1, in your opinion, Baz, was...
I'm not going to say it yet. What I'm going to say is...
Yeah, go on.
This is really difficult because
yeah, obviously.
There was so many brilliant players, and you could have made a case for probably most of them for being the best at what they did within that era. But I'm going just purely on quality here, and the best player I think of that era was Trevor Steven. And why I've chosen Trevor Steven, listen, I could have gone personal favourite, would have been Aidenheath, because I absolutely love Aidenheath, but Trevor Steven had everything, absolutely everything. Great in the air, good pace about him, skillful, scored goals, never really went missing. You know, he was up and down that line with Gary Stevens, and I just think for what he was, played up front a few times when we needed an emergency striker. He was just absolutely brilliant to me.
It's an interesting shout. I mean, I've got a 1985 shirt with number 7 on the back, so you know.
There you go.
I love Tricky Trev, brilliant player. I was actually going to say somebody, and then I thought at the last minute, no, it's somebody else. And I will reveal who the person I was going to say is.
And I'll tell you whether it's the one I would say. And
I was going to say Kevin Sheedy.
He was my first thought for technique.
Well, just because not only he was a tremendous footballer. His set pieces got us out of the shit loads of times.
Yeah,
he could score goals, take pens. He had a little bit of devil in there as well.
Oh yeah,
he had a bit of everything about him. But then at the last minute, a light bulb went on my head, and I thought, no, it's got to be this person. And who do you think that person is?
Neville Southall.
It's Neville Southall.
He was me reserve. He was me reserve because he's quite. You know why I nearly went for him, and you may. Yeah. This might be your reason. I nearly went for him because I thought he was the best player in the world in his position, and obviously Trevor Steven wasn't. So, but I chose Trevor Steven. I basically went for an outfield player, but Neville Southall, to me, one of the best ever to play the game, certainly in the era that I've seen in world football I'm talking about. But for me, at the time, at his peak, was easily the best goalkeeper in the world.
Yeah, and that's why I've sort of gone for him, because at the end of the day, if you're talking about a whole era, you need a level of consistency. And when Neville Southall wasn't in goal, it was pretty much the whole of the 86 season. Well, it was the whole of the 86 season pretty much, wasn't it?
No.
But it was nearly all of the 86. Well, not all of it.
He got injured in February 86.
So
it was the important
bit. Sorry, important bit.
It was the key. Well, it was the key, the business end, because we were still involved in everything.
So the business end of it, and I think that showed. Why we never won the double that season. I think we would have if never been playing if it wasn't for fucking.
We'd have definitely won one.
Stupid pitch in Ireland or something. So
exactly. Lansdowne Road.
So, but it was just. I suppose he was the backbone and what the club was. I know all those other players were not. I'm not saying they were all interchangeable. They weren't. But if one player at a time was out, we normally had adequate replacements. Whether Kevin Richardson come in and done a job anywhere, Alan Harper come in and done a job, Adrian Heath come in and done a job. We always had we always had players there and thereabouts, but with Nev, he was pretty much irreplaceable. And I just think that, I think knowing that you've got a player of his ability in goal for you gives the rest of the team almost a license to push forward and go and win games, and also you know, leadership qualities as well. He brought, you know, he was first into training, last out of training, just he run the dressing room. It was so much about him. When there was a lot of sort of big characters in that dressing room who sort of I would imagine pushed out their personas a lot more than Nev did. I just think Nev didn't have to do that. I just think he was just like his own man, comfortable being who he was, and it didn't matter. And I think at the end of the day, you only have to look at his repertoire of saves that he made, that he had no right to make. You know, that Falco against Spurs, you know, nearest rivals in '85. You know, that save at 2-1, things like that. I think he was the key man. He was just the key man for me, and I think that's why go down has been, for me, the most important.
Yeah, listen, like I've just said, he was the best goalkeeper that probably I've ever seen. He was incredible, certainly at Everton, without a shadow of a doubt, but in the world at that side, just unbelievable. There was games that he just winged it on his own. When strikers went through, you were surprised when he scored. That's what he was like. Such a big presence. Seeing him make saves in games that some people have hit it. Remember Greg Down, Coventry, and we didn't even win anything, but we beat them 1-0 and Cotty scored. And Greg Downs hit a free kick and put his arms up because he thought it was in, and Southall's come from nowhere and tipped it over the bar. He saved the hardest penalty I've ever seen from Brian Kilcline, who's just wellied it and he kept it out. And that was in the season that we didn't win anything. But I think, like you say, 85, unbelievable. 86, he was brilliant. And he just went and caught across on Lansdowne Road and landed, and that was it, his ankle was done. Bobby Mims done well, you know, he won the league at Blackburn, so he wasn't a shite goalkeeper, he come in and done well, but he wasn't Neville Southall, he wasn't that presence. And I think other people got confident. When Nev was in, the strikers weren't as confident. And it showed the next season. Bobby Mims started the season because Nev wasn't ready, but Nev was back for the business end and we won the league. And that was the key difference. We didn't win it the year before. We won it the year later, and it, like you say, he was just, you'd see strikers go through and shrink because it was him. I had the pleasure of training with him at Everton, and he just welly shots and he'd just catch it with one hand and throw it back, and you'd just be like, you fucking just wellied that, you shy talk, and you're saving it and throwing it back. But other keepers, because Bobby Mims was there training with Bobby Mims and Fred Barber, remember it? And then when they'd be in, you'd be curling them round them and leathering past them, and he'd just go back to you, and you were like, no wonder like top class strikers like physically shrink with him. You know, I know Ian Rush had his fair share of goals against them, but other times Rush would go through and he'd save it and you'd be like, that was a goal. Without him, that was a goal. And he'd done it to every striker. He'd done it to me and you have done some retro re-watches, and we've seen him and we've like been laughing at the saves that he made, you know. The famous little montage at Chef Wed when we won the 3 saves in that, which are unbelievable. And then even later in his career, 95 at Wembley, the double save from Scholes and stuff like that. Just unbelievable goalkeeper. Had everything, like you say, Paddy. First in, last out. Great fella. You know, straight. Would have you no problem bollocking you. And that, what we don't see now. I mean, Jordan Pickford's got a bit of it. He doesn't mind giving it up, but Southall, fuck me, he'd grab you and you didn't want to mess with him, and Everton had a lot of those characters, which probably the reason why he was so good at that time is that they had a team full of them. He was instrumental in everything he did.
He was my pick.
He was yours, yeah, sorry, yeah. My pick. So you tell me about Trevor Steven.
No, you tell me about Trevor Steven.
Trevor Steven, like I say, he came, obviously coming from Burnley. Liverpool wanted him, and we got him, and he come in, and he was a little bit hit and miss the first season. Come in, I think he found it difficult stepping up from. He'd played for Burnley actually at Anfield the year before we signed him in the League Cup. I think they got to the semi-final, played Liverpool, and he played really well in Liverpool. Were keeping an eye on him, and our Kendall pumps like, and come in, and he was a little bit, as you do as the players who step up do. But the 84, 85 season, 83, 84 season, when he got in properly and he got his head down, and we ended up getting to 2 cup finals. He was just fantastic, and you know, we've seen him at Wembley when he threw the cross in for the old Andy Gray goal. And he was great because he could go inside, outside. Trevor Steven, it wasn't always outside. If they showed him inside, he'd come in, put a few in with his left foot. He could play off the left hand side as well. And like you said, he could play through the middle. You know, he was it's really difficult choosing players actually from that side, because when I think back, I loved all of them. Absolutely loved them. I don't know whether it was because I was a kid as well, but I loved every player. I loved Alan Harper and Richardson. They hardly play, you know. Richo did. Alan Harper was in and out, you know. Players like that. We had like people like Paul Wilkinson who didn't, you know, and Zach Goodison, when they beat us Grimsby and we fucking mullered them. We had about 35 shots and they got a free kick in the last minute and he scored. And he beat us 1-0 and we went and bought him, and he was a lad that had come in, score a couple of goals and then he'd be back out the team. No, and it was just like, oh, he's not playing because Aidan Eats back or Graham Sharp or whatever. And that was what was great about that side. But when you go through that side, Peter Reid, what a footballer, what a midfield player. He was Bracewell, one of the most gifted midfielders, because he had everything. You can go through it. Gary Steve, you know, it is. You look now, it actually makes you quite sad when you look at this team now, that there's not many alike, and there's not many who you'd want with you in a battle. But that Everton side, you'd want them all with you because they all dug in. But saying that, mate, they came from, I was at Goodison when we drew 0-0 with Coventry in the Al. Fucking Cousins came down, and people, it was Kendall's out and all that. It just shows you Andy Gray was a bit of a key turning point in it. But he was there when the Coventry things came down. It was like 6 weeks after that. But once that thing turned and we got on a run, players,
but the characters though, isn't it? Like you said, the characters came out in the end. The true characters came out. At first it might have just been the lack of, you know, not football ability but confidence and things like that, but there was always characters there with that. I love Trevor Steven. I just think he is one of the most underrated English players that we've had in the last 30 years. I just loved, it's weird with me, I don't know whether it's because it's like out of sight, out of mind, but I've got no time for Graham Sharp whatsoever. I think he's a dickhead, if I'm honest. I haven't met him after. I just think I just don't like him, and it's soured my, you know, when people say never meet your heroes. For some people it's true. Some people it's true. Trevor Steven, I've met Trevor Steven, and I've you know, after football, and I've been in his company, and I've spoke to him.
And how have you found him?
I found him a very sort of intelligent, sort of down to earth fella who was slightly, I think he's slightly removed from the Everton thing because of the other teams he played for. But still, you know, he went into like being an agent and stuff, didn't he? And very intelligent and knows the game. And I remember speaking to him about a few things at the time, and not really to do with Everton, more to do with like podcasts and stuff that I was doing. And he was, you know, he was interested in talking to me about them. But I think there's that creates that like wonderment that you keep in your head about a person, rather than thinking about how they are. I mean, I would love to remember certain players about how they were on the football pitch, but once you get to know them, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's nothing better in the world than meeting a footballer and finding out that his fucking boss. Like, I've been dead lucky. I played with Nev and had a day with Nev, and it was fucking it was a scream. It was a scream from beginning to end. Watson, Aidan Heath, all great fellas. Aidan Heath, I mean, I sat up drinking with Aidan Heath and Watson till 6 in the morning.
Waggy's one I don't like.
Well, that's fair enough.
I've met him.
He's a bit aloof.
Yeah,
he's a bit aloof.
He's a bit. I think. Yeah,
but I sat with him all day.
Quite guarded.
Yeah, and he was sound, and Nev's the same, and Aidan Heath, we've spoke to him since, and you've got to speak to him and stuff. And he's dead on the level. But Trevor, he's one of them where he left the club at a time where, it was when he left the club. It was at that moment where we needed those players, him and Gary Stevens, and I don't know whether that's not saying that soured the relationship. It was a little bit, felt like a bit unfulfilled.
Yeah, I think the problem was he stayed. Gary Stevens went. You all right, Tom? Tom's just arsing about at the window. Gary Stevens went, and then obviously the European ban was there, Rangers come in with some shiny money, and we probably, as a club, we probably should have done more to keep them.
Yeah.
So, but whether the law of Europe...
Maybe we should have done more to fight the European ban, maybe.
Well, maybe, yeah. But Trevor Steven, it was obviously well known that Rangers wanted him, and the last few games, obviously at Wembley and the 89 Cup final, people got on the pitch and was, having a go with him, saying he wasn't trying, and maybe that soured it a bit. But for the years that he was there, he was fantastic for us and just such a great player. But I just remember the aloofness when I was at Everton. It was like, maybe I don't like Watson because he just kicked shite out of me on the training pitch, and he was a bit aloof. Like some of them you meet now and are great. I mean, Derek Monfield, loved Dex. He's never been any different. He's always the same. Nev's never been any different. And some of them are guarded, and you have to be. And when they trust you, they can't. The guard drops.
No, you don't know you do.
That's what it's about. Trevor Steven, I just remember him. I remember him as a player, and I remember him from training, and in training he just finish and go. So he was quite removed almost, but I remember he's one of those, like, suppose you'd call it like a thinking footballer.
Yeah, it seems
one of them, and he had other interests outside of it as well, so he was like that. But I remember he had a fucking Bosch car, and he had a red Capri at first, and he had to get the
he strikes me as a man that probably saved all his money and invested and made more money out of it. I think his Everton career sort of petered out, though, unfortunately, as well. When maybe he lost. Maybe he stayed at Everton too long. Maybe it petered out because of that.
Maybe she was probably gone the year before.
Yeah, but his footballing ability. My favourite goal he scored, and yours. I mean, there's two. I love when he scored against Bayern Munich. I love the celebration. I just love him running away, going like that, like as in, it's done, lads. We're done. We're through. And obviously, in the final. But the one I love is against Sunderland, when he comes in off the right, takes the ball, gets control as he goes past the defender, and then just smashes it top in. And it's just like, they are all the elements that we miss in the game with wingers now. Wingers now have just become this contrived player who just plays out wide.
He was like a wide midfielder, really. That was what was good about. I mean, even the winner, Leicester, the Andy Gray running into the post off his head and bollocking Steve Lynex. Trevor Stevens the one that flicks it on, because he played up front that day with Gray, and that was what he brought. He was good in here. I
think, do you know what? I would say the person I would say in the last 10 years who reminded me of is, but they've got a couple of things removed from each other's game. It's probably Beckham, but he was quicker than Beckham, much quicker than Beckham. And Beckham was a better crosser and a dead ball. But I just that, like, that old-fashioned winger in the modern game, it doesn't exist anymore. And he could, like, as you say, he could mix it. He could throw boss balls in the box. He just had so much about him. But he epitomised that era of a lad coming from somewhere like Burnley and then stepping up, and he goes to the World Cup in '86 and. He's setting goals up left, right and centre. It wasn't meant to be. It's ridiculous, really, when you think about it, right? Yeah. When you think about the '86 England team, right? It was built round all these fucking no-marks who'd done nothing. Yeah. And you've got Everton players sitting there, and because of injuries and stuff, the Everton players got themselves in the team. Not all of them. Fucking Mountfield was left at fucking home. Yeah. Took fucking Alvin Martin instead.
Terry Fenwick.
Who fucking finished 12th, I think, that season.
Terry Fenwick.
Terry fucking Fenwick. And left Mountfield. Talk about north-south divide. Yeah. That's when it was a fucking proper north-south divide.
That's a joke.
And in the end we got, it was Reedy and Stevens and Lineker and Trevor Steven all playing, Bracewell, and they're all playing. And when Lineker got his hat-trick, like, there's one goal, and I think they all touch it. All the Everton players, and that's when you had pride fucking for England. Yeah. But you can understand why he left, and we went on to play for Rangers. Had all the money then, and were in the Champions League, and that's when a lot of English players went up there. And then again, I think showing the intelligence of him, he went to Marseille and did really well at Marseille.
It's one of them, isn't it? I look back at them era and just think, I hate the way Sky have changed it. I hate the way it's gone through Sky. But if Sky had to be a thing, I wish Sky would have come in 10 years earlier for all the footage, you know, because I think if you'd have had all that footage, the proper footage, the way it is, he would be one of those players that people would revere. People would go, what a footballer he was, and go back, because it's you get the grainy foot. We sit looking for.
Well, it's interesting now. I mean, we've just helped put together this Everton team, 84 to 87 for Pez, and the lad's like, because I was on him, because this, you know anything about Pez, you can mess about with the teams, and there's a set of lads who've brought out this classic teams, and Everton weren't in it, and I was like, why the fuck aren't Everton in it? Because there was some shite Stour Bucharest 86 fucking team. If that's not fucking rubbing salt in the fucking wound, I don't know what it is. And I was like, that, when you put an Everton team in, he's like, I went, are you putting an Everton team? And in the end he was like, alright, we'll put an Everton team, and he's actually put it in just for us, like giving us the fucking thing. But he was back all the time going, well, what about this player? How good was this player? And I'm like, how do you not know? But they don't know. That's the thing. It's like in the end, the kid was like, I've been watching videos of you, so you're a fucking boss. And it was like, it's like we're like the lost team of the 80s, because we are, in fact, we are the lost team.
There's a film coming out.
Because loads of our footage went missing, because like TV companies were on strike, and there wasn't deals in place, and there's grainy footage that was Everton's footage, and now listen, the Liverpool team, they won European Cups, and that's why they are where they are. But it's all like I bet you loads of their league games have just gone missing. But it doesn't matter, because they've got all the European footage. We've got the European Cup Winners' Cup, fine, but it doesn't really matter, because it's not the same. But those league games have all gone. So there's like a lost generation.
The problem one of the things for me, and it pisses me off, is there was the strike in the 86 season when we had Gary Lineker for the first 5 months of the season. And we were amazing, and he was amazing, and there's loads of brilliant goals that aren't seen, that they're just not there, and it's like someone must have them.
Well, the other thing,
because the club's recorded everything.
Someone told me that BT have got. Oh no, it was Johnny from Sky, didn't he come in? Told us. He said Sky have got all the footage, all of it. They own all the footage, like anything that's like, they've got it all, but there's nothing, they don't do anything with it. And it's like, and I've been saying for years, I know Everton brought a DVD out not long ago of like 87 and 85, but it's like a game here, then some interviews and a game there, and it's just like, and this was another thing, when we've done the retros, we've like, when we get done for this, but like, I've spoke to people and they're like, no, because everyone owns the footage, but nobody owns the footage, and it's all because of all the shit that went on. No one truly has the rights, and like we spoke to Everton about it, and they were like, we can't really put stuff out because it's not ours, but it's not theirs, and it's like it's all stuck in this fucking no man's land. And you're like, all you want to do is for someone to just compile a fucking match by match like thing. No, I was dead excited, man, when they brought the 85. I was like, oh, it's gonna be boss this, and it ended up being a shitty like talking heads video, and I just wanted a full season review every game, and they didn't. But I bet you're right, I bet you it's all out there. I bet if you sourced it all, I bet you if you went to like individual clubs, they'd probably have their own story. Like, it pisses me off that Everton don't have like catalogues of all the games like online, but they just say, well, we've got them all, but we can't put them all online because that takes up bandwidth, and bandwidth costs money, and blah blah blah. I understand. Put them all on fucking YouTube then. I'll fucking do it. I'll go and work for you and put it all on YouTube, catalogue it and put it on commentate over, and just give me a job. Let me and Bass just run it all.
YouTube, commentate.
No, just put it all on YouTube and just get, anyway, that's a different story. But it's annoying that Everton do feel like the lost team of the 80s, you know what I mean? I know when you look back, the success, it seems fleeting now, and we know why the success is fleeting, but it does feel like we are just that lost team. Because we've got the thing that we do, and it's annoying because people like Trevor. If I went up to a kid now, when I went to Trevor Stephen, he wouldn't have a fucking clue. Even maybe some Evertonians, young Evertonians, wouldn't have a clue. No. Like, I speak to this kid again, someone he went, what was Kevin Sheedy? I went, Kevin Sheedy was the best free kick taker in the world, and I'm not being dramatic about that. Okay, there might have been a few out there in Italy or Yugoslavia and that kind of a couple of I said, but he was the fucking absolute best. Scored goals in the World Cup, scored goals in cup winner cup final. It was fucking brilliant.
He kicked from anywhere.
His left foot was fucking hell. I said it was amazing. I said our goalie was the best in the world. I'm not being dramatic when I say these things. I said Lineker, you know, the 86. He said he was more sought after player in Europe, and we signed him, and then we sold him to Barcelona. He says he didn't even want to fucking go. And it's like
40 goals.
It's like these things, and you just go. People are like, no, don't know anything about
because
that.
of the Sky thing.
No, I know it is.
Saying.
It's not just the Sky. No, it's not. It's
no,
not,
but
no, it's about the it's about the TV.
But
deal.
I'm saying if that would have landed 10 years
no,
earlier,
of course.
Right, then all this would have been at that time. Everton would have been out there, being everywhere.
But it's even worse from the fucking these things that Everton didn't go anywhere. I mean, I know why, but at the end of the day, there's other clubs not so far away who, even though they moved on, didn't they? But we didn't for some reason we didn't move on. We were the ones it hurt most, and maybe I don't know whether it was a mental thing. But we didn't move. I'll be honest, right? This is why I don't like Sir Philip Carter, and I can't take to all this stand stuff. And I know people have different opinions than me, but I can't have him, because as far as I'm concerned, he never fought to keep us in Europe. He just went, yes, Margaret, because he was fucking mates with her. I won't go into that. But he never fought, and I can't have him for that. He wasted the biggest opportunity Everton have ever had because of someone else's doing. And then what made it worse was we never reacted. They reacted. They went out and bought the best 3 players in the land. Yeah. The year after we won the league. Did that fucking hell? It was coming to the end of the season. They already had all them sewn up for the next season. Yeah. We just stood there twiddling our thumbs, going, "What should we do next?" Well, we need a new manager. Yeah, just give it to Colin. And then we went, oh, should we buy? And
to be fair, we bought Tony Cottee, who was quite short after.
Let's not get into that area.
No, but I'm just saying.
No,
but you're right. We didn't. I don't think we've done enough to fight it. We should have gone and got an injunction or whatever. We should have gone and said we haven't done anything. We're not being banned. Yeah. It's wrong and blah blah blah. Or we should have signed an agreement that when it was back open, we were the first. We didn't do anything. We just that's what the clamour was for. Yeah. The clamour was at the time. You remember at the time, people saying if they get back in, Everton need to go back in first because they're the team that's been hurt by it. Twice we lost out on it. But you're right in terms of investments and everything. We should have built. You build when you're strong. You don't build when you're weakened, because everybody else, if you get stronger, you keep it. You keep building and building and building at the position of strength, and that's how you maintain an era of
I mean, don't get me wrong. Ultimately, the European ban did for Liverpool as well, because yes, they won in 88 and
they won it in 85 and couldn't defend it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that some of the league, but ultimately the league as well. They won a couple more, but they won out of steam, didn't they? Yeah. I mean, ultimately, but. I just think there's so many players that we look back on with such fondness and adore them, and other people just don't even know who they are. Don't know who they are. Trevor Steven, you wouldn't know. You don't. Someone wouldn't know Trevor Steven is because he's not on telly anywhere. He probably did a little bit afterwards, but he's not that kind of fella. He doesn't come across giving it the big I am. I won this and I won that. He's not like that whatsoever. You could probably walk past him in the street and you wouldn't know who he was. Whereas all the Liverpool players went on telly, and Hansen and stuff and Lawrence, and they projected that image of we've done this and we've done that, and our players never really did that. Really, the only one I would really say did that was probably Reedy, but that's because he went into management, and but like everyone else stayed quite insular. And Graham Sharp, local, doesn't go on national telly very often, so he's seen as I don't know whether that may be because it's funny, because it might be something to do with the affinity. Andy Gray obviously did, but people then go, "Oh, he's not Evertonian because he's like giving it the commentary in the Liverpool games, giving it the all that." But that's because that's how he got to where he was. I heard Leon Osborne a few weeks ago on stage, and Darren Giff was asking about the telly and the radio. You never off it, and he went, "No," and he said, "I said we, and I've been told not to," and that's because I like to think that Evertonians can't help but say we, or play for us. But the irony is, Liverpool ex-players go on the telly, don't say we, but are fucking cuddling up to them anyway.
Oh God.
So
Well, that's right, isn't it? It is mad that those players, because you know players from other clubs who are nowhere near as good as our players, and it's like their names are like revealed, and you're going, how are they like getting talked about like that? And our team, it was like amazing. No one speaks about them. Yeah. You're like, what the fuck's
it's perception, isn't it?
Rodney fucking Marsh, by the way.
It's perception. Nobody Marsh now. It's perception, though, isn't it? It's this idea. Well, it's fucking people like Jermaine. Now you've got people like Jermaine Jenas and fucking
Charlie Nicholas.
Well, he was a never be, wasn't he?
Oh, well, that's what.
No. And you've got fucking people like Jermaine Jenas, and you've got people like, well, you know what? Don't mind Jermaine Jenas as much as fucking Danny Murphy, who took Jamie Redknapp, who lifted trophies wearing a suit every time. Yeah. Fucking hell.
Well, that's the thing. But that done my head in at the weekend. Him and fucking, our summarisers, Jamie friggin', how's Jamie Redknapp summarising Thierry Henry? Gives a shite if Sky need them.
Well, we've gone away from this, haven't we? We've gone away from. Remember when Sky first started, and every match would have like a pund. You'd have someone in the studio from Everton and someone from the opposite time or whatever. It was always fair. Yeah. And then I think it might have been because of the whole keys thing, because it was like, no, we need a team that we can rely on, and you know what I mean, like never leaves the circle of trust, sort of thing. That's probably what.
Shite up.
But then it's also going, well, we want the best. It's also going like, I mean, look at. We've gone madly off the tangent here. But look at some people like Ian Wright's on every fucking channel, like but then you've got someone like Sky don't want Gary Neville going on the BBC. They don't want him on the ITV. They don't want him on BT.
But that's okay, right? Because he's doing the games, and that's great. And he does the Monday Night Footy thing. Listen, I don't mind Jamie Carragher. People were moaning about Carragher the other day in our commentary. I thought he was dead fair on the commentary the other day, and what he says is right about
I want people like Neville going on and calling our players out.
And Carragher, I want them fucking calling them.
People listen to that.
It highlights it, right?
And it's even better when footballers go, oh, it's terrible, they don't have a clue, and you think, they've got to you, haven't they? The worst thing you can have is a summariser who just ass kiss.
I've got no issue with the likes of Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, right? Because I've heard Carragher slating Liverpool.
Yeah.
Right, but Jamie Redknapp doesn't say a fucking word about them, good or bad, but he'll have a go at Everton. Doesn't say a word. Danny Murphy, the exact same thing. Soon as if you only have to put on, they're all there. Gerrard, fuck off. And you're like, if Steven Gerrard's not working at Liverpool, fine, be a summariser. But he's at Liverpool now, so he shouldn't be anywhere near the telly. Talking about Everton regardless whether he's right about Everton or wrong. And I believe the other day he was probably right about what he said about Everton. But he's employed by Liverpool Football Club, so he shouldn't have any opinion on Liverpool.
Well, he shouldn't be a contracted
key fucking summariser.
If he's brought in to do a game by game,
European games, no problem. If he's coming in to do, whoever,
but if he's brought in to do
Juventus, great, because he's been a great player, and you don't mind. But I just think for, and if it was like if Sky go, look, our team for the 4 o'clock on a Sunday, Super Sunday, is Jamie Redknapp and Thierry Henry, right? No problem with that, if that's the 4 o'clock game, right? But I don't want to see Jamie Redknapp, stupid fucking cotton wool head, anywhere near Everton games that aren't at 4 o'clock on Super Sunday, because he's a fucking...
There you go, the debate has gone all any other business.
Debating now. Anyway, Trevor Stephen, no, I think you've just nailed it there, is that for such an amazing team, it is like the forgotten team. It is kind of like, Everton were good, were they? Or did they have any good players? And you're like, you should know.
Well, do you know what though, it's not, I'll be honest, it's not the only forgotten team though, let's be fair.
No.
Because...
Yeah, but it's all about us.
I know we are.
Not Nottingham Forest fans.
Well, I was going to say no, but Nottingham Forest, and that's good. That
and Aston Villa, by the way. But yeah,
I was just about to say Aston Villa 82. They won a European Cup. Forest won 2 European Cups and won the league. And what was good about Forest is that film came out recently, and there's a film coming about Everton soon. So hopefully that sort of. And I sent you the thing the other day. I was watching Top of the Pops 85, and here we are. It was like 26, and then the next one they were like number 13. It was Boss. I was like, fucking hell,
Everton in the chat.
Me and my missus were just sitting there going, how depressing do we feel? We've just been beaten by fucking Burnley, right? and we're sitting there watching Top of the Pops from 1985 when all the music was boss. None of this shite now.
Yeah.
That's what she said. I'm down with a bit of Kendrick.
Come on.
Don't you like Kendrick Lamar?
No,
So awesome. He's not a tit. He's sound.
He's a red.
No, he's not.
He's a red.
He's not. That's LeBron.
Kendrick's a red. Got yawn on his arm.
That's why he was called Kendrick, but actually the Ken bits for Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah, that's how his name. And Lamar was just because he liked Lamar.
That was basically.
He just changed his name.
I can't argue with that.
He's got yawn written on his arm.
Yawn. Fair enough. Yeah. So what? Seeing Everton in the charts, I was just like, I was thinking, this is May '85, and honest to God, I was sitting there just thinking, we've just been beaten by Burnley away. Our manager's Sam Allardyce, and I'm literally watching. I was just like we're talking now. I was just like. Oh.
May '85 though, we'd got beat by United in the cup.
No, but we
just had to sell. We just had to sell for the league and the cup winners' cup.
The players were all drunk.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
And if they hadn't been drunk, we might have won it.
That was what the thing was. If we'd have had 2 more days.
And so then I got on the fucking PlayStation, didn't I? Put the 85 team on and started ripping it up, mate. Oh. Steve, I know what I've got up front. Can you name me? Can you name me team?
Obviously, Southall. Let's be the main team, surely. Southall, Stevens, Van den Hau.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen the squad, so I'm just gonna guess it. So Ratcliffe.
Yeah.
Now, have you gone Watson or Mountfield?
I can't not go Mountfield, can I?
Okay.
Go on.
All right. So Tricky, Kevin Sheedy, Reed Bracewell.
Yeah.
So it's your front 2.
Yeah.
Gone 4-4-2.
Go on.
I think you've gone Sharp and Lineker.
I have gone Sharp and Lineker. I've gone Sharp and Lineker.
Andy Gray and Heath on the bench.
Andy Gray.
Agent Heath.
Richo. Paul Power. I picked the squad as well, by the way. Wayne Clark.
Oh, Clarky.
Got Wayne Clark in there.
Goals. Goals, Mr. Goals.
They're all strikers.
Yeah.
Bales is on there. No, but he's on the bench. He's not on the bench, isn't he? Waggy's in. He had to play because Rats got sent off against Liverpool in the cup. Harper's in there. Bobby Mims. Paul Wilkinson.
Wilco.
I think that's it.
The lad put one Aspinall in
there.
He
was in there originally. I just said, oh, Snods as well.
Oh,
Snods is in there. And I just said to the lad, he was like, put Aspinall and like a couple like Kevin Langley. I was like, no.
Stuart Storer. Kevin Langley was good.
Yeah, I know.
He had a good little spell.
Yeah. And then I just went, no, there's too many. I said, there's too many. But it's good, man. But what's my? He done this. He done the thing, and he was like, Paul Power's better than Van den Hau, though.
Nah.
But I can't be asked that argument.
Can't you just edit it?
Well, you can't, you know.
Just go and edit it. Make it real. And save it.
But I think Nev's like about 85. Sheed's free
Ned
kicks.
Should be 100, Nev.
Sheed's free kicks are about 93 or something like that. As I said, that's the one thing. I think Lineker might need to be a little bit faster. Yeah, because people forget how fucking fast Lineker was.
Rapid, mate.
He was just like, watch the goal he scores at Anfield in '86. The ground he makes up is incredible.
What's the goal he scores against Luton in the FA Cup?
Tony Gobert. Just look at his pace.
The Luton game in the FA Cup, but he played the ball, he just leaves them for dead on the thigh, bang, goal.
I was in the Galaxy seat that night.
Beast, I was in the lower bullet.
Night game. Oh, yeah. So that was 86.
86.
Night game with Goodison.
How did we get on in the first game?
Was it 1-1?
We get beat 2-0. 12 minutes left. Brought Agent Heath on. 2-2. And his goalie took it on his chest and just stabbed it into the corner on the plastic.
So what was it? 86?
86, yeah.
Night game. In what? February, March? Or was it later?
March, late March, yeah. Freezing.
So I was 7 years of age.
I was in the low bullets.
In the Gladys Street, on the bar. Probably freezing.
It was freezing.
Watching Everton being boss. You can't buy that.
Look for Everton 4, Man City 0 on YouTube. You just look at Gary Lineker's hat-trick. Oh.
Go and depress.
That was a night game.
Go and depress yourselves by watching Everton in the 80s. It will make you feel so depressed. That we threw it all away because our chairman was a Tory, and this is why I hate Tories. And this is why you can't be an Evertonian and a Tory.
Stop it.
You can't. You can't. They kicked us out of Europe.
Stop it.
UEFA didn't even kick us out of Europe. Facts, you did. There you have it. Let's go. See you later. Goodbye.
Love Tories.
Right, Tory.